microphone, so they say everything that they want. Give the people back the microphone, so they tell it as it is. Express what you wanna say right now.
Yo, what is up, guys? I know I'm supposed to be like in my bed, chilling, not doing too much, but I decided to bring my comfortable bed and all my stuff to my studio because I wanted to talk about a few different things. If you're getting on here to be negative because you don't see cash, then you should leave right now. Everybody knows where Cash is. We know his situation. We have to keep his social media active so that when he does come back, he won't have anything to worry about. So when you get upset and you start throwing harsh words because you might not hear the content you're used to hearing because Cash is not here, you're directly going against what he would have wanted. He wants this to stay active and moving. So I'm getting on here to talk about a few different things. You're more than welcome to stay. If not, you can leave too. That's fine. But I'm just giving you a warning. Don't get on here being ignorant because my attention span, I have a short fuse. I don't feel good. I'm in pain, but I have a duty to not only the country, but God. And I want to represent him in the best light possible. So why not get on here and talk about things that matter and that are important? Shout out to Cash. We love you so much. I talk to Cash every day. Actually was talking to him today and he sent a very heartfelt poem. So Cash, we love you. I'm going to keep this platform going for you and we miss you. We can't wait till you get back home. I'm going to look at some of these comments because I didn't get to say hi to people. Tell me where you're from. Drop your location. Everybody, where are you from? Yes. Good news is Jesus is God. And good news is we're all here, all breathing. That's the good news. The good news is tomorrow's Mother's Day. Celebrate the moms out there, all the moms that are out there taking care of their kids, being awesome wives, mothers. Some have to be providers and nurturers. Shout out to you all too. Happy Mother's Day weekend. Midland, Texas. Georgia's here. Indiana's here. Milwaukee's here. Hello, guys. New York. Hey, North Carolina. New York. Hello. You think about Cash every day. I will let him know that you guys have inquired about him, and I'll let him know that everybody misses him. Excuse me. I have to. Cash is that's my best friend. That's my dog. Always. Hi. I feel okay. I had to go live. Your voice makes my guitar sing. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? Oh gosh. Can you write Cash? I know that there's an app that Cash can be reached on, but I will get with Russo, Nikki, and Casey, and we'll see about maybe getting Cash some letters so you guys can hear about what's going on with him and all that. Hey, Suni, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that your wife passed away, Chris. Condolences and prayers to you. Wow, I didn't know that. You'll have to reach out. You have to send me an inbox. Send me an inbox and yeah, we'll get with you. I'm sorry to hear about that. Everybody's curious about my surgery. Okay, so do you want a story time before I talk to you about what I want to talk to you about? Would you guys like to get a story time? Story time. So I went to the doctor and I found out that I had a cyst on my ovary. I'm like, okay, I could deal with that. I just have to get it monitored, go to the doctor, all that jazz. So I decided I wanted to get a little exercise and I wanted to walk to the next military base up from my house, and it wasn't a bad walk at all. The walk was actually, it felt good to walk. But then I started hyperventilating, and I noticed I had this like radiating pain in my pelvic area. I didn't know what was going on. So the first thing I did was I just lay down. I lay down in the grass near the gate of the base, and MPs came over to see what was going on with me. They helped me out, and then I was transported to the hospital, and they did CT scans and an ultrasound, and they found out that my ovary was twisted, and that my I can't even think of the name of it. I've been talking about it for 4 days straight now. Can somebody tell me the name, please? Charge it to my brain, not my heart. But my the cyst on my ovary had ruptured, so the blood was irritating my organs, my bladder. On top of that, I had a twisted ovary. So was that a fun experience? It was not fun. I had to go through surgery to get it all panned out, fixed. Everything is good now. I have to go to the doctor and make sure it's monitored. Everything should be good from now, but I'm a trooper. I don't let anything hold me down. I've had 3 children. I've got through a cesarean. I've had surgeries. I'm not one of those people that can just sit down and do nothing. I can't. So here I am. I'm very blessed that I had people there to help me, because this is a really dangerous situation that happens to women, and a lot of women aren't as fortunate as I was. So I'm blessed beyond measure. Someone says that they're disappointed in me. To say we made history for, okay, Sooner, first of all, my name is Suni. I'm a little disappointed in you. To say we made history of all transgender flight crews beyond me. It is quite disgusting. First of all, it was a post that I put up, and we were calling attention to it. And I was being sarcastic. Anybody that knows me knows that I don't support anything transgender. I don't support the LGBTQ movement. So I'm gonna need you, D. Clark, to take 2 steps back and simmer down. My husband is an active duty Air Force soldier. So I don't really know what your husband serving 25 years on Air Force, like what that has to do with me. I don't really understand that. But nonetheless, welcome to the stream. And we're glad you're here. Chill out, though. My homie's here. This is my favorite middleman, man. I love Casey.
Love you too.
What's up?
Doing well. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I can't complain. I took my pain medicine, but I had to come on here and talk about a few things. It was crazy, but I'm good. I don't have anything to complain about. I'm good.
Good.
Awesome.
I'm glad. As soon as you sent the link, I'm like, shit, I just started eating. I'm going to shove all of these wings in my face.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get the more pressing issue out of the way, because a lot of people are, I'm not coming down on anybody. I'm not saying people are wrong. Everybody is entitled to their opinions. You're entitled to whatever you believe. And I'm all for free thought. Everybody knows that about me. Even if you don't agree with me, I will still invite you on the show, because I just like having conversation. And I think it's vital, as we just heard from Braden. We just had Braden Ellis on PTP. Dude, it is essential that we all talk. We spend too much time yelling, fussing. And I think, D, I'm going to use you as an example. You saw me put up a post to where I was calling attention to something, and she's talking about the all gay helicopter that they were celebrating. And I said, look, history was made. Everybody knew that I was being sarcastic. This is the problem. You see something you don't like and you automatically want to attack it instead of trying to get understanding it as to why it was even said in the first place. Okay, we got to stop doing that. And yes, Tiffany got to talk to me and Casey, and it was an enriching experience. She got to learn a lot. We got to learn a lot. We got to learn how to talk to the other side even better than we did before. Get to tailor our message. So we got to do more talking and less talking at people. Okay, less talking at people. So I'm not talking at anybody when I talk about Caitlin for California. But what I am going to do is tell the truth about this entire thing. I don't agree with the way that I'm not going to refer to, I will say Caitlin, and my husband kind of checked me on this. He said, well, if he legally changed his first name, you have to respect that. Rightfully so. So he legally changed his first name. So I will refer to him as Caitlin, but I will not refer to him as her or she. I will not do that. I'm used to seeing Bruce Jenner, and so is the rest of the world. He decided to go ahead and change his gender. And look, more power to you, bro. You're allowed to do that. But guess what? I ain't supporting it. And I refuse to let conservatives and Republicans be blindly led astray from your attempt to infiltrate. That's exactly what this is. I know people are in a very desperate place. And the best example I can give earlier, because I was so irritated. I'm like, look, you sound like the desperate woman, okay, that doesn't care. She just wants somebody there. And a man comes along and he says, hey, what's up? You're beautiful. You're so smart. Can I get in your pants too? But I'm going to tell you all the stuff you want to hear. That's what he represents. He's telling you everything you want to hear. And sooner or later, you're going to open your legs. Guess what? You're going to get bleeped, the F word. I can't say it on here. And look, you could be a single child, a single mom, STD. I'm just telling you the ramifications of what happens when you let somebody sweet talk you. And they're saying all the things you want to hear. No. Casey, I know we're somewhat on the same page with this. What do you think?
No, 100%. Like, my bigger thing is, this is where I'm coming from. California is at risk of turning red for the first time ever.
Yes.
And magically, this person comes out of nowhere and throws their name in the hat. Right. There's already other names that are already thrown their names in the hat, names in the hat, and said we're running. And we have Gavin Newsom that is about to be recalled. And then we have this person taking over and getting all of the attention instead of someone that actually has something done logically with the community, logically with politics, and actually has a history you can trust. We have no idea how this individual would make a decision when it gets to that person's desk. Now, if they wanted to run for House or Senate, deal. Do it. That's fine. But not the highest seat for the state. I do not agree with that at all, because you have no record. You have no history. I have no idea how you're going to handle gun control. You can talk all you want. But when that bill gets to your desk, you can veto it and it will go away.
Yes.
And in California, for you to get over 2/3 vote to be able to make it to where it can't be vetoed is going to be impossible.
Yes.
And so that is why I'm adamantly against. And I would do the same thing here in Utah. If someone ran for governor that had no track record, regardless of transgender or whatever, I would be like, no, sorry. I can't trust what you are going to do. I don't know what you're going to do.
That is my entire premise. Like we have the same, we agree on a lot, but this one we're like in tune with each other, because he's like, no, I understand. I get it 100%. When I'm going to play this video, but when you, I don't understand how he can call himself a conservative. Okay. And keep pushing forth his mental it's a mental illness. That's what gender dysphoria is. He says that he has it. So I'm not saying anything that's not true.
Correct.
He
The
says
reason why he can, the Republican Party, I don't know why that was so hard to say, but the Republican Party is more accepting than the left, anybody on the left. And so it's very easy. And this is where Bucky Dillon and I had this conversation on Wednesday, talking, hey, it's easy to go libertarian, Republican, because
Absolutely.
Republicans very open and accepting. And as soon as you don't move along in that party, you can just go back to being a libertarian.
Yeah.
And so it works. That is why this person is accepted in the Republican parties, because they are accepting. Yep. However, this person does not fit the MO and the backbone of where Republicans came from.
Facts. I'm going to play a little bit of the video, and I'm going to get into different parts of the Fox News interview that he did. He said things that everybody wanted to hear. Like this is what I'm trying to stress the most. He said things that you want to hear. And because there's an R attached to his name, people are blindly going forth. And it's mainly people that aren't even from California. That's what bothers me the most. You're going to influence a place where you don't live. You don't have to be worried about what your children are going to take in. Their governor's a transgender. Are we kidding? Can we please retain some normalcy in America to where everything is not being thrown out of whack because you want to be current and with the times? I believe that we should accept everybody. Jesus accepted everybody. He loved everybody, but Jesus also stood for truth. Truth. And the truth is, you cannot switch your gender, no matter what mental illness you're struggling with. It's the facts of life. If Bruce died tomorrow, guess what his DNA is going to say? Male. It won't say woman. It won't say, oh, well, he changed his gender. It won't say any of that. It'll read male because that is his DNA and those are his chromosomes. Period, point blank. Now, let me play a little bit of this video so you guys can hear the nonsense that we're fighting against. I don't know if I shared the audio. Darn it. Can you hear? Okay.
It's really low, though.
I've always been a dreamer.
Oh, there you go.
California was once the envy of the world. We had what everyone else wanted. The American dream grew up here. Yet career politicians and their policies have destroyed that dream. It's been locked away, closed, shuttered, left in the dark, burned down. The government is now involved in every part of our lives. They've taken our money, our jobs, and our freedom. California needs a disruptor, a compassionate disruptor.
Oh, myself. I can't. California needs a passionate disruptor. You are dressed like a woman and you sound like a man. Like he sounds like a man. How is anybody taking this serious? I'm sorry, bro. I had to pause it.
That person is going to definitely be a disruptor, but I believe it's in the Republican Party, not necessarily in anything good for California.
I came here with a dream 48 years ago to be the greatest athlete in the world. Now I enter a different kind of race, arguably my most important one yet, to save California. I want to carry the torch for the parents who had to balance work and their child's education, for business owners who were forced to shut down, for pastors who were not able to be with their congregation, for the family who lost their home in a fire, for an entire generation of students who lost a year of education. This past year has redefined our career politicians as elitists and the people of California as the warriors, the kings, and the angels. We never take kindly to glass ceilings here. Instead, we shatter them.
This one's way out there.
We're the trailblazers, the innovators. California is facing big hurdles. Now we need leaders who are unafraid to leap to new heights.
Canada, he does not want to finish record in this race. He wants the world record.
Who are unafraid to challenge and to change the status quo.
I want to prove that it is absolutely possible if we only do it together.
California, it's time to reopen our schools, reopen our businesses, reopen the Golden Gates. So I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, I'm running to be governor for all Californians. To reclaim our true identity, to bring back the gold to the Golden State.
What a tremendous victory.
Now is the time to achieve that summit, to be the shining city on the hill, and together we'll restore and renew the California dream.
Just generous driving.
It's about what happens from here. It's not just about one person. It's about all of us.
What you just
This is how I feel. Okay, this is the best thing I know how to say right now.
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Listen, everything y'all discuss in these shows is basically what Caitlyn is discussing too. Please explain how he is going to get it done. You can say whatever you want to say to get into office. It's California. Explain how you're going to get it done.
Yeah. And remember, this is politics. So there's two things to remind everybody of. Like Obama, his first time running, he convinced a lot of people that, oh, healthcare reform was needed. Credit card reform was needed. And all of this stuff was needed. The only thing that he did successfully, in my opinion, that he ran on in his first term was credit card reform. That was actually done really well. Healthcare reform, he caused our costs to go through the roof and forced us to where we had to pay for it every month. Exactly. And then, so you can always claim these things, but actually provide details and plans so we can see and we can be like, no, I don't agree with that. I don't like what you're putting out. The second thing is, you got to remember also, when we're talking about politicians, they say what they want to say to just get attention. Mm-hmm. And this person comes from one of the most famous people on TV because of a sex tape.
Just saying.
And this person will know exactly what to say to get people's attention.
Mm. Here's my thing. Why are people criticizing Christians for telling the truth? Why can't we say, Bruce, you're running as a woman when you're not a woman, bro? That is not a representation of bringing normalcy back to America. Why is it that he can get on TV and say, yes, I'm struggling with gender dysphoria? Okay. He plasters this thing around like it's a badge of honor. Imagine all the younger generation that is growing up with this and they're actually struggling because maybe they don't want to change their gender. Maybe they don't want to accept that about them. Maybe they want actual help. And instead of us giving them that help, we're normalizing immoral character. This is a very antichrist thought process. Okay? We cannot change our gender. We can't. Love is correction. I love my children so much that I refuse to let them do the wrong thing just because it might make them feel good. Feeling good doesn't last. It's like weed, right? This can't be my go-to for everything. I'm gonna go smoke weed for everything. I have to be able to figure things out for myself in a logical way. And what we are presenting to the people of California is dysfunction. They're already going through dysfunction, and they're at a very, very, very desperate point, okay, to where they're willing to accept any and everything to get them from underneath the thumb of Gavin Newsom. And I understand, but why are we acting like Caitlyn Jenner is the only option?
Because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's giving him, or they, I'm refusing to say him or her, that person attention. And that's what that person wants, is attention. And when we're talking about these situations, it's very unfortunate. And this is where anytime I end up in these conversations on Facebook, I remind people, Major Williams is a choice.
Yeah.
You have other options. Why aren't we talking about these other people? We are always talking about this one individual because it's taking away and tearing apart the Republican Party to where they can't be unified on a single person.
Yes. That's it. I mean, even the folks that watched him on Hannity, you didn't present any solutions on how you were going to get it done. Everybody's like, oh, he said this. Oh, he's going to get us back to work. Oh, he's going to save us from Gavin Newsom. Oh, he said that. Oh, yes, I agree with that. How are you going to get it done? How are you going to get it done? In the most disgusting part of the interview was when he said, now I get to wake up and be myself. That is affirming his mental illness. And it's telling other people that struggle like he do, yeah, you can change your gender. And once you change your gender, you will be okay. It is not true. I don't think for a second that Caitlyn is not struggling. There's no way. There's no way that you're going to sit there and mutilate yourself, and now you feel better about it because you don't have a penis attached to you.
Yeah. It's so difficult with this person. It's just like, I want to wring people's neck every time people want to bring it up and be like, oh, he's running. And I'm like, so? You know how many other people are running? No one talks about? That's where this person belongs. It's with no one else. Like, down at the bottom of the list. Let's look at other real candidates.
Thank you. Ones that aren't gonna get on. Just, it's a clown show. Like, I'm sorry, it feels like a circus, man. Like, this part of the interview really pissed me off. And I'm not shocked because it's Fox News, and Fox News, they love their ratings. He's got an R behind his name. Oh, let's get him on. Wake up.
Fox News is trying to recover right now too.
They are. But he lost me. See, he said the word identity. There you go. That's how you know he's struggling with something, because he can't be honest with himself and say, I am biologically a male. He has to talk about his identity. Well, I identify. Well, I identify as vaccinated. So guess what? Leave me alone. Since we can identify as whatever we want, I'm vaccinated, okay? And I'm COVID free. I identify as both. So open up, everybody, okay? Just for shits and giggles, everybody put on their Facebook pages, I identify as vaccinated. You're allowed to identify as whatever you want. Isn't that what they're putting out?
Oh man, you gave me an idea. I'm gonna have to do it tonight. I'm gonna design it. That little ring thing that you make, you put it around I'm gonna make one that says I identify as vaccinated.
Listen to this, man.
But discussed with all my children, but the last thing I had to do was sit down with my pastor. Because if anybody has any issues in their life that they're struggling, and everybody does, everybody's got stuff they have to deal with. And if they have any faith in their soul whatsoever, They sit there and they go, God, why'd you do this? Why is this issue for me?
Did you hear what he did? God, why did you do this?
No ownership. Somebody else's problem.
Mm.
Of identity in my head 24 hours a day, every day, 365 days out of the year. You can't take 2 aspirin, get plenty of sleep, wake up the next morning, and you're fine. It's just always there. It's who you are. But why? And so this question was always in my heart. And I sat down with my pastor, and you know what? I thought, is there a reason for this? Am I doing the right thing? Do I need to come out and make a difference in probably the most marginalized community in the world? After long thought, I said, you know what? At this point in my life, my kids are raised, everybody's fine. Maybe it's time I take care of myself. Because when that day comes and you go up to the pearly gates and you're walking up the stairs and you're seeing God in front of you, and you just ask that question, did I do a good job? Did I do the right thing? And just hope he says, hey, come on in.
Satan was the most beautiful angel in heaven. He also worshiped himself. He was kicked out for self-worship. He was kicked out for questioning God. Why can't I be like you? This is all he's exhibiting, is a Luciferian, a Satanist aspect to life, which is self-worship. Oh, my kids are grown. I've done all I needed to do in life. Now I'm going to go ahead and live in my delusion. Not, let me go get help because I shouldn't feel like this. Nope. I want to be a woman. I feel like a woman. I identify as that. So I'm going to go do it because I want to go do it. Notice everything he did, self-worship, questioning God, and well, I hope I make it into heaven, and then I'm gonna put on the waterworks. I have no respect for Caitlyn Jenner, bro, because you call yourself a Christian. You live, you call yourself. You also call yourself a lesbian. You're in a relationship with another transgender man. At what point does your life start to make sense?
I had no idea about that relationship. Oh, so my wife said this when she came into the office here. So does this person introduce themselves to God as Bruce or Caitlyn?
That's
God's going to be like, hi, Bruce.
absolutely.
It's not going to be Caitlyn.
I said this earlier in my live. God knows who we were before we were. He knows every number of hairs on our head. He formed us in the womb. You don't think he knows you? You think he's going to accept the fact that you destroyed his temple and changed it to what you wanted to be instead of being what he called you to be? It's not easy to get up here and say these things because I know I'm going to get backlash for it. But you know what? I would rather hear, well done, my faithful servant, than depart from me. I know you're not. I would rather hear that. That's more brave than coming out and deciding to change my gender. Like I said, I'm not bashing him. Everything I'm saying here is love. Love is correction. Love is truth. You don't love somebody if you just sit there and affirm them in the wrong. You don't love them. You don't love your kids if you constantly give them junk. Eventually that junk is going to rot their mouth. Probably their insides too. I'm trying to wake people up to look past all the glitz and the glamour, what's on mainstream media. Oh, he's saying things I want to hear, and actually listen to him because he's struggling. He's crying. This is a cry for help. He literally said, all I can do is hope that God welcomes me, because he's still confused. Am I doing the right thing? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that noticed how bad he was struggling in this interview? Everybody else is just, oh, it was amazing. Oh, he said so many great things. Really?
Well, and he says, am I doing the right thing? It's like, well, then clearly you don't have a relationship with God. Because God would have already given you some guidance. You wouldn't be finding it after you're dead.
I just want people to wake up, man. That's it. It's really disturbing to be where we are. It's disturbing watching people say he's a lesser of two evils. You realize you're still voting for evil when you say that. There is no such thing as a lesser of two evils. Evil is evil. Doesn't matter how you try to. It's more of a way to make yourself feel better about what you're doing, instead of just listen. I'm good. Not voting for you. I have my reasons. People are gonna be mad at you. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Thank you for this revelation. Don't thank me. I feel like I don't feel. I'm gonna be honest. I woke up this morning and I was like in a really weird mood because I was seeing everything on social media. I was seeing how people were just like, "Oh my gosh, Caitlyn Jenner was so amazing," and I know who he is, you know. And it bothered me. It bothered me to the point where I wept tears. Because I'm like, this is not where we are as America. This is people are not this confused. People are not. No, they're not. We're not this disconnected from God that we can't say what's right and wrong. No, we're not.
Yeah. And when it comes to this, like the part that's so frustrating when we're coming to this is we did the same thing. What was it? A few weeks ago with Tim Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Scott had a great speech. Tim Scott for president. Tim Scott for president. Because he had a great speech. Don't disagree with his speech. It was pretty solid.
Yep.
But where were you the last 3 years? Hiding in Joe Biden's basement? Because that's all I know. Dude.
So it's not a conviction from me. This is a conviction given to me from the Lord, because I was really convicted. Like I was. I don't know if you guys saw the live that I did, but I was just like, what are you doing? You can't be this desperate. You can't. I just want to encourage everybody to please, like, seriously, get into the Bible. Like, stay in serious prayer. Because we are in a spiritual battle between good and evil. And that is all this is. It's a spiritual battle between good and evil. And if you're not careful, you will get swept up in this whole sensationalization of everything. We sensationalize everything as a country. And it's easy to be led astray. So please stay in prayer. And read your Bibles. Understand what the truth is. When people try to come at you and say, Jesus wouldn't want you to do that, because people have done it to me today. Jesus came to separate. We are not supposed to be of the world. Does it mean that you're supposed to be mean and hateful to people? No. But you are supposed to stand out. Your light is supposed to shine. People are supposed to know that's a Christian when they see you. They shouldn't be confused of who you are. It just shouldn't. I had to get that out. I took a pain pill and everything. I'm like, I'm going to get a pillow, my blanket. I'm going to sit here and talk about this, because people really felt like I was just targeting him and being mean. Oh, you're just mad because he's trans. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I was getting the same thing on a couple of my friends' posts that they were like, Caitlyn Jenner is actually could do it. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And then I bring stuff up, and then the LGBTQ, all the alphabet people come running after me, and they're yelling at me and telling me all big bad names, and I'm a racist and I'm a bigot. And I'm like, what did I do?
Exactly.
What did I do? Because my whole thing was, how can you trust this individual to run an entire state? How can you trust them? You have nothing to go off of other than an ad and an interview on TV.
Absolutely.
Like,
You're going to have to watch the replay. I did a story time. Watch the replay and you'll find out why I was here, why I was in the hospital. But I hope everyone, I really hope that woke people up. Just so you're looking at it from less of an emotional aspect, because people we're emotional beings, all right? Especially women. We're soft. Oh, I feel bad for him. Oh, well, he's got good intentions. No, I'm looking at your character, homie. And you ain't right. You ain't right. You ain't right. And you know who else ain't right? Facebook. Facebook gave me another 30 days. Another 30 days. And do you want to know why? This is the oversight board. This is a appeal process you can go through once you've been thrown in jail so many times, Facebook jail, so many times. They allow you to start appealing, but they have to pick your case for them to even look at it. So I was flagged for hate speech. Okay. The only thing I said was men gossip. It's literally what I said. So I'm like, thank you. I totally forgot about that, but thank you. Since we're all Trump Republicans, thank you. I was flagged for hate speech. So I'm sitting in the bed talking to my husband. I'm like, I got hit again. Look at all these ridiculous things. So these are the guidelines on how Facebook governs themselves. And they have a board of people that it's like an appeal board. They got a board of people that look at your appeal and let you out or keep you in.
do you know what this board is?
I read about it too, Casey. I think it's in Cali.
No, they're in London.
Nuh-uh.
They know nothing about anything in the United States for our rights and everything.
Wow.
Every person that sits on this board, which is 14 people, they are in London.
Wow.
They're in Facebook's London office.
Wow. So violent speech or in support of written visual form, dehumanizing speech, or imagery in the form of comparison, generalizations, or unqualified behavioral statements in written or visual form to or about. Okay. This is what's deemed hate speech and also violence. Insects. Let me make this bigger. This says to or about. So if you can let me know where an insect appears on Facebook, maybe I'll shut up.
Well, I tag my wife in a lot of spider pictures just to piss her off. So
Look,
that's about it.
animals that are culturally perceived as intellectually or physically inferior, filth, bacteria, disease, and feces, sexual predator. You can't dehumanize a sexual predator, even though they're scum of the earth. Violent sexual criminals. Listen. Violent speech or support in written or visual form, dehumanizing speech to or about You are not allowed to do these things on Facebook. They are considered targeting a person or a group. It says, do not post. You guys see that, right? Do not post. All right, let me go back to it. Subhumanity, who knows what that means? Violent sexual criminals, other criminals, but not limited to thieves, bank robbers, or saying all. You can't say all. Dude, mocking the concept or events or victims of hate crimes, even if it's not a real person. Black people and apes or ape-like creatures. I don't understand why they put blacks and apes together, but that's not racist at all.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, yeah, you put that on the same line? Like, okay.
Black people and farm equipment.
Racist?
Jewish people and rats. This is the one that really got me. Jewish people running the world or controlling major institutions such as media networks or the economy or the government. Oh, the list goes on and on and on. It goes by tiers. Okay. You can't talk about Muslims or pigs because Muslims and pigs are somehow synonymous to each other. I didn't know. Muslims and sexual relations with goats or pigs. What?
Oh, that one's funny.
Mexican people and worm-like creatures?
Worm-like creatures.
What?
Okay.
This one got me. Women as household objects or referring to women as property. What? Notice. If you notice, there is nothing against talking shit about a man on here. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, and what else? Transgender, non-binary people. We can't refer to them as it.
Sorry, I'm in trouble. It is a very fitting definition, and it's safe. I can't go wrong. I won't have some person freak out at me at a Popeyes if I say it. If I say sir on accident, then I'm in trouble.
Woo! All right, it gets better. Okay, tier 2, content targeting a person or a group of people on the basis of their protected characteristics. I don't know what protected characteristics are, but Facebook is going to tell me. Okay, generalization that state inferiority in written or visual form in the following ways: physical deficiencies, hygiene, but not limited to filthy, dirty, smelly. You can't put dirty on Facebook now. This is grounds to get you flagged for hate speech. Dirty, bro. Smelly. You can't tell somebody they smell now? Physical appearance, including but not limited to ugly or hideous. If you're ugly, you're ugly. I can't help you with that. Do I think people should make fun of you? No. But such is life. There are really attractive people and there are some really ugly folks in the world. Get over it. Intellectual capacities. Okay. You can't talk about mental deficiencies either. So if people are just like not smart, don't you dare get on here and use the word dumb, stupid, idiot. Education. Can't use the word education because it could be deemed, depending on how it's used, it can be deemed as hate speech. Okay. Including but not limited to illiterate, which literally translates to you can't read. Uneducated. You can't talk about mental health, including but not limited to mentally ill, retarded, crazy, insane.
I foresee I'm going to be removed off Facebook real quick. I might as well get used to this board pretty fast because this is all new. This is
Whoa! Moral deficiencies. Have you ever heard these words before, Casey? What the hell is a moral deficiency? Like, when did we ever use those two things together?
I don't know. I can think of the two words separate in their definition, but I don't. I have not seen moral deficiency combined. But we established this with "Truth Will Set You Free" 2 weeks ago. People run on their own dictionary.
Wait, you can't talk about moral deficiencies, okay? You cannot talk about somebody's intellectual capacity, even if they're dumb, bro. You can't tell them they're dumb because it's hate speech, including but not limited to dumb, stupid idiots. I read that part. Mentally ill, crazy, insane. Like this is character traits. Character traits. Culturally perceived as negative, including but not limited to coward, liar, arrogant, ignorant. What?
How is that hate speech? Ignorant is being like, hey, I could call you stupid and then you could blame it on other people, but I'm going to call you ignorant because you have the information at your hands. You have the internet, but you choose not to read it.
Listen to this. Her cousin is in a 24-hour suspension for putting the word burn in a sentence.
Well, we are talking about London, where you can be pulled over for being a suspected terrorist. Like, just suspecting you are a terrorist, they can pull you over.
Burn. Excuse me. Derogatory terms related to sexual activity. You can't call somebody a whore that's a whore. Or a slut or a pervert. So we can't call Joe Biden a pervert.
Sorry, I'm going to keep doing it.
He said it's turned into Sesame Street. Oh, it gets better, man. I'm reading all these things to you so that you know exactly what you're up against when you're on Facebook now. You cannot say anything. You cannot say anything. This is free speech being trampled all over.
I can't wait until we get to the part to where they say you can't say bad things about crackers.
I can't wait till we get to that either. Or how about men? Can we get some help for men? Can we have some advocates for men as well? Or do they don't matter anymore?
I'm sure that's in white font at the bottom.
Can't see it because it's behind white. Oh, God. Okay. Other statements of inferiority which we define as expressions about being less than adequate, including but not limited to worthless, useless. Expressions about being better or worse than other protected characteristic, including but not limited to, I believe that males are superior than females. Of course they would use that. Of course they would use that as an example.
Well, I'll just go out and say I believe that women are superior than men at having babies.
Goddamn right.
I guess
You know what,
I can't
Casey?
get in trouble for saying that.
I believe that men are far superior in women in providing for their families. Protecting their families too. Expressions about deviating from the norm. Freaks, abnormal.
Sorry, there's some freaks. They deserve to be called freaks. Abnormal, I'll use the word freak.
Oh my God. What happened? I feel like 3 years just came and smacked me dead in my face when I was reading this. 3 years ago, we were a normal society, somewhat. Things were all out of whack then, but goddamn.
Big tech just thinks they can run everything. That's what it is.
Listen, bro. Self-admission into intolerance on the basis of a protected characteristics, including but not limited to homophobic, Islamophobic, racist expressions that a protected characteristic shouldn't exist, expressions of hate, not included but limited to despise, hate. Who are these protected characteristics? I'm on DuckDuckGo. And what do we have? Do you want to see what verbiage, where this verbiage is used? Can you guess?
I don't know.
Equality and Human Rights Commission.
Oh, of course.
So now we know that Facebook and our government entities are tied together. Big tech and our government are like this. They're like this.
They feed all kinds of information about us back to the government. So they have to be. Well, we're not to that part yet. They might talk about crackers later.
We'll see.
Let's have some faith.
Can we please go back to protected constitutional rights? Facts. Yeah. Facts, Chris. Facts, man. Hold on. Let's keep going. Despise, hate, blah. Expression of dismissal, including but not limited to don't respect, don't like, don't care for.
So I can't say I don't like something. I don't like green eggs and ham. Guess I'm in trouble. Maybe they'll ban that book next.
Maybe. Because, the eggs are not black. They're yellow. And that would mean that we are pushing Asian superiority over black people. Because, that's why they went after Dr. Seuss in the first place. Expressions that suggest the target causes a sickness, included but not limited to vomit or throw up. Oh, so God. if you say terrorist that bomb America make me want to throw up, you're probably going to get kicked off of Facebook.
Well, I'm you know how many times I said vomit today when it comes to the thing Jenner? Oh my God. I'm in trouble. Big trouble.
Expressions of repulsion or distaste, like they're taking all your options away. You can't say vile or disgusting. Yuck. You can't have yuck and it be next to ew. I think Caitlyn Jenner is yuck because she's a protected characteristic.
Wow. I just can't. Like, I guess this oversight board, everything in their life is rainbows and sunshine.
Apparently. I would love to see how they talk because they've completely removed over half of the English dictionary. We can't say squat.
Oh man.
I quit.
I might as well leave Occupy Democrats right now.
You should, because somebody's going to report it and then they're going to read a string of sentences and say, hate speech, Casey, 30 days. Oh, that's a good one. Are they going to get rid of the emojis? That is a good one.
It's a good question. I doubt it. Because the emojis are not necessarily tied to the platform. It can be tied to like your keyboard on your phone. So you can insert those still. But we'll find out. That's interesting. That's a good question.
Cursing can be used as hate speech. But cursing, it says defined as referring to the target as a genitalia or anus. You can't call somebody a cunt, a dick, or an asshole. if they're gay, Islamic, or a woman, or black, that's literally people that they're talking about. You can't say it. I can't call Blake a dick if he's acting like a dick because he's gay. I can't. If a woman like if you're being a cunt and I want to call a woman a cunt because it's a woman, I cannot say cunt, even though I think that's the dirtiest word ever. I hate it. Why can't I say it?
Oh, jeez, we're in trouble.
Oh, profane terms with an intent to insult. Hey, you put it out there, bitch. It's on there. You can't say it. You can't say motherfucker either.
You forgot the other one.
Fuck.
Before bitch. Oh my gosh.
That was only tier 2. That was only tier 2. You can't make these phrases or terms when calling for engagement in sexual activity or contact with genitalia, anus, feces, urine, including but not limited to suck my dick, kiss my ass, eat shit. Where's Russo when you need him?
Oh my god,
Whew.
we're all screwed. Love you guys. Follow us on other platforms because
I can't post. How funny is that? So if you wanted a list for me, I can't give you a list.
I got an idea. Can we all learn Morse code? We might get away with it. Oh.
This is the last one I'm going to do because it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, we're getting out of tier 3. Oh god, what is this going to bring?
This is tier 3. Content targeting a person or a group of people on the basis of their protected characteristics with any of the following: segregation in the form of calls for action. Okay? You can't call anybody to action. Statement of intent, aspirational or conditional statements, or statements advocating or supporting segregation. Don't Black people call and support segregation all day, every day?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. We haven't got to the white people part yet.
We didn't. Exclusion in the form of calls for action, statement of intent. Okay, I read that. Explicit exclusion, which means things like expelling a certain group or saying they are not allowed. So we can't say terrorists are not allowed in America.
Oh, okay. So like what you just did to Donald Trump, he's not allowed?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oversight board. Get on your shit, buddy. Oh, good one, Rose. What about the segregation of unvaccinated people?
There's no such thing. We all identify as vaccinated, so we're good.
Political exclusion. So, hi. Anybody that's conservative, you guys can get targeted all day, every day. But everybody else, they're protected characteristic.
Well, they said that denying the right to write. So maybe they're trying to justify they're going to support the right.
Maybe. Denying, which means denying the right to write, the political participation. What? Economic exclusion, which means denying access to economic entitlements, limited participation in the labor market. Social exclusion, which means things like denying access to spaces, physical and online, social services. So families that don't necessarily want to kick the dad out. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand who the hell they're protecting besides people that lived in a warped reality where what is economic entitlements?
I'd have to Google it.
God. So what platform we moving to, fam? Hey, bruh.
Farmers only. I think that's the only way you don't get kicked out.
well, black people better not be on there because we're not allowed to compare black people and farming equipment. I didn't even know people did that, but okay.
Well, and apes. Like, apparently.
Yep. And listen, when I saw the Ferguson riots, I said they look like Planet of the Apes because they was on cars, beating it, acting psycho. There were white people out there too, and they all look like Planet of the Apes. I said it. Yes, I did. Last one. Content that describes or negatively targets people with slurs, where slurs are defined as words that inherently they use that word for a purpose. Let's hold on. Let's have a school lesson really quick. Do you know what the word inherently means? As a natural, necessary, or inseparable element or quality. So natural words.
You get the? Did you see the use of inherently? Technology is not inherently evil.
I see it at the bottom. Oh man, this is making my stomach hurt. Inherently offensive and used as insulting labels for the listed above characteristics. So all these characteristics up here, you can't use words that are inherently offensive. Whew. For the following community standards, we require additional information or context to enforce. Do not post. Context explicitly providing or offering to provide products or services that aim to change people's sexual orientation and gender identity. So, Caitlyn Jenner, your entire campaign goes against what the Facebook Oversight Board deems as hate speech. So, Facebook, are you going to be kicking his ass off of Facebook?
No, of course not, because then that person could go after Facebook, and it would be okay, and Facebook would overturn it if Donald Trump went after Facebook. They'd throw it out. You incited violence.
Guys, there are 3 tiers. 3. Everything I just read to you is in Facebook's community standards on hate speech. I read the entire thing to you in its entirety. You might as well just get off of Facebook. I really wish that everybody would stop using Facebook and make them go broke.
They're too big to fail. We'll use 2008 statement. They're too big to fail.
Yeah, facts, man. You're right.
They created this thing that just created this addiction of everybody being on social media.
Yeah.
And Facebook took over MySpace and just owned it.
Yes.
And now to compete, I think Parler had a chance. And then
they took it down.
Big Tech knew if they took them down right then, it would lose all of its momentum, and it wouldn't be able to recover. And that's the unfortunate part. Not that Parler is the solution. It was just an example that we tried.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the only way you can combat this is using the system against itself.
Absolutely.
So I won't be losing my Facebook until Facebook takes it away from me.
I'm going
Which
to
might not be very long.
I'm going to go through with the appeal process because I would love to see how they're going to. And I did this with my last one. Remember, I was telling you guys they didn't even read it. Let me show you. They didn't even read it. I have so many appeals with Facebook. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Where's it at? Ensuring respect for free expression through independent judgment. People are batshit crazy, man. They have no clue what they're talking about. My kids are knocking on the door. Hold on, let me zoom this out. I can't wait to go get back in my bed. I had to do this show. Look, so this is the first one. And I said, this should be allowed because you advertise diversity and free thought. And they literally kicked me off because, dang, what did I say the last time? Not
This
selected
one
for
when
review.
you called someone ignorant, an ignorant ass.
No, this is when I put up the photo of feminine dicks,
Oh yes,
feminine penises.
the one that was shared by that transgender page, but nothing went
Thank
wrong
you.
there. Only with you.
Thank you. Look, not selected for review. Okay. They give you, look, we'll give you the option to review it, but we're going to pick and choose what we decide to review. Didn't review it at all. So now I have to do it all over again with this one. Hate speech. Hate speech. This is 1984. I've been reading the book. Facebook, big tech is the thought police. That's what big tech represents. They're the thought police. The Fed is big brother.
Yeah, it's I started listening to it again, and then I got caught up in a whole bunch of stuff and I didn't get really too far into it. I gotta kick that back on since I'm in the basement now working. I gotta turn it on when I'm working down there and finish it again. Because it's been 5-7 years since I read it. It's been a long time.
It's like I read it in high school, but being older and reading it is like wow.
Yeah, I read it right let's see. Right as I was getting engaged into politics a long time ago. Like I was always there, but not super engaged and active. But I started reading it more and I read the whole thing and I was like, great book. Now I got to finish it again. Because now with the knowledge I have, I bet you I missed stuff.
Yeah, I did too.
Barbara, it's 1984. George Orwell.
Yeah, read it. If you don't like reading, the first film that came out and it's black and white was actually it's better than the second film, the one that's in color. Of course, both films. The book is better. I'm not gonna lie to you. The book is a lot better than the movie. But if you don't have the patience to read, get the audiobook and you can go to audio.com, download it. You can sign up for a free trial. Just make sure you cancel it after 14 days. They give you 2 credits. I will recommend these books. Behold a Pale White Horse in 1984. Those 2 books you should have in your arsenal because they are actually tools to help you fight in this war that we're fighting, man. It's an information war.
It's awful. And a lot of things with 1984 when you actually either listen to it or read it. When you actually go through that book, you'll start seeing and recognizing things that are occurring today, and you're like, wait a minute, this is going on. You're going to connect the dots. It's not going to be perfect, like 1-to-1, but you're going to be like, this sounds the same of what's actually going on. Just remember, in 1984, the internet was not even created yet. I think that came out in 86, 87.
Yeah, the Apple computer, the first Macintosh. It wasn't Apple first.
But you'll find correlations of events. It's a good book.
Can I please before we go, can we please talk about this? Can we please talk about this?
Oh, hell, I don't even know anything about this. You posted. I honestly don't. You posted this in our team chat, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know these people. That
is Serena Williams.
That's Serena.
That is Serena Williams.
Really?
Yes.
I guess she just looks different in a tennis outfit.
No, she's just got a ton of plastic surgery done, and she's lightened her skin a lot.
Okay.
And people are like, "Oh my God, what happened to her? Oh my God, she looks." They're like shocked by her appearance, and I'm like, you can't be shocked because I remember growing up, people used to make fun of Venus and Serena, call them monkeys. Oh, they look like men. Spread all these rumors about them, and then folks are shocked when they alter their appearance. How long do you think you're going to bully somebody, especially when they're in the limelight? I would love for people to come do what we do and have people analyze and criticize every movement you make.
Sure. Yeah.
I would love for you to do that. I have sympathy for her because I remember growing up hearing all the mean things said about her. And as she's finally changed her appearance, and folks are making fun of her even more. And I said, Americans have become so desensitized and cruel that you don't recognize when you're actually hurting somebody.
Yeah. Like, I pull up pictures. I have pictures on my screen over here, and I'm like, okay, I recognize that's Serena Williams, but not in that picture. No, I don't. No.
And the fact that her husband, who's obviously a beta male, would allow her to alter, like, why won't you tell your wife, honey, you look beautiful the way you are?
Right.
Forget what they have to say.
Yeah. Well, clearly, he is not in that relationship. He's just there.
America, America, America. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. Stop blindly supporting Caitlyn Jenner when you have no clue what he has to offer. Caitlyn Jenner is struggling mentally. And if we love Caitlyn Jenner, then we'll love him and tell him the truth. I say it all the time. I will take Caitlyn Jenner serious once he goes back to Bruce. When you dress as a man and you address the state of California as a man, I'll support you 100%. I will sing your praises. But while you're in this state of confusion, I won't blindly sit back and allow, especially on my platform and things that I work with, I'm not supporting this. And I'm not going to push it forward like it's normal.
Nope.
Because correction is love. Absolutely. It is love. He don't have to have his male parts. He decided to do that. That's his fault. But he can dress accordingly. He can carry himself as a man.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is God warned us about pretty much following the blind. And that's what you're doing with him. And I said him, damn it, that person. So that you don't want to do that. And that's what people are doing with this situation. And I'm going to extend out a little bit further off of what Suni was saying and say all politicians.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's time for refreshing change. Sure. But make sure you know what you're doing and what that person is for. When it comes to House and Senate, there's a check and balance there. There's enough of them. But when you have a mayor of your city or a mayor of your county or a governor, you put a single person in power. You got to make sure you know what they stand for. Absolutely. When you put that single person in power. And that's what we're talking about doing with this individual in California. I don't understand. I understand California may want to be risky, sure. But all you're doing is you are actually smashing any other party from running against the Democrats. You're ruining it.
That's the truth, guys. We have to be logical, and I'm going to keep on this journey of Make America Think. Tune in tomorrow. I'm only going to be on for 30 minutes. I'm going to have Darius Mayfield on, and we're going to talk about his plans and what he's got going on. I'm talking to all the up-and-coming politicians. Last week, we had Billy Prempe. That's the homie. We ended up doing a whole show together. We were talking to a liberal. I'm going to be doing more of those shows. I probably will not be live like this again, but I felt like I really needed to come on here and give people a full understanding of what I was talking about, because I don't go out of my way to bash anybody. I really don't. That's not in my character. It's mean, and I'm not a mean-spirited person, but I love Caitlyn Jenner just like I love any other human, and I want nothing but the best. So the Lord's arms are open, Caitlyn. You can tell that there is he's had some sort of established relationship there before, especially when you're literally calling out. And I'm going to play this again before we leave. You're calling out and you're saying what's true to your heart, which is, I just want to hear well done, but I'm confused. You know how bad that hurts me? Like, that hurt just to hear him going through that. That hurts, bro. It's so sad. And you have a country that would rather have you like plaster you all over the place and use you for their agenda than actually help you.
Yeah. Well, and think of most athletes, right? Most athletes have some sort of relationship in their religion.
Yeah.
Most of them are Christians, but he was an athlete. He was an Olympian.
Yeah.
And that's probably where it started. And that now I think feels he's lost his connection with God, and he's trying to claim he still has it.
Yep.
Damn it, I keep saying he.
It's all right, man. And I'm gonna be respectful and refer to him as Caitlyn, because he did legally change his name. And I know him as Bruce, but he changed his name. So right. I can't be that like far right extremist person where I'm like, no, blah blah blah. We can't do that anymore. It doesn't draw people in. It just doesn't. So I'm going to end the show with this. Really pay attention to what he says and listen to how he is literally calling out for help. Putting him in a government position is not helping him. It's really not. So if you love like Jesus loved and you believe in Jesus' commandment, which was love, love your brother, love yourself, and love God first and foremost, your country, and you will know love is correction. And we need to correct things like this. So I will probably be back with Russo on Wednesday for Concert Avengers. And then I will be back for 30 minutes tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Darius Mayfield. So I'm going to play this video. Thank you for coming on, Casey. We always have fun with chopping it up. I hope everybody enjoyed this and you understand exactly where we're coming from. We're out of here.
But discussed with all my children, but the last thing I had to do was,
can you hear this?
Sit down with my
Thumbs
pastor.
Up.
Because if anybody has any issues in their life that they're struggling, and everybody does, everybody's got stuff they have to deal with. And if they have any faith in their soul whatsoever, they sit there and they go, God, why'd you do this? Why is this issue for me of identity in my head 24 hours a day, every day, 365 days out of the year? You can't take 2 aspirin, get plenty of sleep, wake up the next morning, and you're fine. It's just always there. It's who you are. But why? And so this question was always in my heart. And I sat down with my pastor, and you know what? I thought, is there a reason for this? Am I doing the right thing? Do I need to come out and make a difference in probably the most marginalized community in the world? After long thought, I said, you know what? At this point in my life, my kids are raised, everybody's fine. Maybe it's time I take care of myself. Because when that day comes and you go up to the pearly gates and you're walking up the stairs and you're seeing God in front of you, and you just ask that question, did I do a good job? Did I do the right thing? And just hope he says, hey, come on in. I did a good job. So that's what my life's been about. I'm just trying to be myself, and I can be myself now. I couldn't do it before because I have too many secrets in my book, Secrets of My Life. I got all my secrets out. I have no secrets anymore. And I just wake up and be myself all day. But but I still feel like I'm doing the right thing. And that's the most important thing. And